Hi, this is Dennis, the CEO of Casiola Vacation Homes. Today I wanted to talk a little bit more about cancellations and cancellation policies on the different channels. We had some concerned owners reach out recently asking about cancellations that happened in their property, a booking that happened a few months ago and recently got cancelled, and then a few days later got rebooked for a much lower rate. And this is an issue that may happen, but luckily it's not as big as it seems. Now, to see what's going on here, we need to go back a little bit. Prior to COVID, our standard cancellation policy was 30 days prior to arrival. So that meant a guest could book a home anytime, and as long as they cancelled more than 30 days before the arrival date, they would get a full refund. And that was pretty industry standard. I think most property managers had that same policy. Some even had a cancellation window of 30, 60 or 90 days. So then COVID happened, and of course all those bookings get cancelled. Most managers and booking channels also waived their cancellation policy, so they offered full refunds to guests because they were not able to travel. And then once we reopened, once people were able to leave their home again, we needed to have very flexible cancellation policies. There was even a time that the guest could cancel up until the day before and still get a refund, and that was the only way to get bookings. And our booking channels were also really pressuring managers and homeowners to accept those flexible policies. Because that was the only way to convince guests to travel and book homes, because no one really knew if they were going to get sick, if someone in their party was going to get sick, and if they would be able to travel. So, but I think most people also understood that, most owners understand that. They were happy just to get some revenue, because without those bookings they wouldn't get anything at all. And let me mute my notifications here so we don't get distracted. So people really got used to those flexible cancellation policies, and booking channels started encouraging it more and more. So what we did there, we saw a big increase in cancellations during the pandemic. But even after the reopening, we saw that our cancellation rate stayed 3 times higher than it was pre-COVID. Up until today, we see still a lot more cancellations than pre-COVID. So it went up 300%. Overall, it's still a very small percentage of the bookings that do get cancelled, but it is significantly higher than it was before the pandemic. So a few months ago, actually around April 2022, we decided that it was time to go back to normal, and we went back to our older, less flexible cancellation policy. We went back to the 30-day cancellation policy on booking channels like Airbnb and others. And what we saw there after a few months was a huge drop of views and increase and conversion on those booking channels. So we were trying to figure out what was going on. We contacted our account managers at all those different channels, and what has happened since COVID is that booking channels give a higher placement, a higher ranking to properties with the most flexible cancellation policies. So if you allow guests to cancel up until the day of arrival, you're gonna rank much higher than owners that have a 60 or 90-day cancellation policy. And we looked at the numbers, we crunched the numbers, and the difference in traffic and views on all those listings with that more strict cancellation policy was huge. So we had to revert back to a more flexible cancellation policy in order to get movement on those listings. We also saw that we were dropping in the ranking. So the only way to compensate was to lower our rates, which is also something you don't really want to do, because then in the end you still make less money. You may have less cancellations, but because you have lower rates and a lower occupancy, you're still gonna make less money. So that is the situation that we're in right now. So our cancellation policies are back to like a semi-flexible one. Our website offers a full refund for cancellations up to 14 days prior to the arrival date. That's also what we try to aim for on all the booking channels. Whatever cancellation policy that comes closest to that, that's the one we use. For larger homes with 7 bedrooms and up, we may have more strict cancellation policies, because those homes are a lot harder to rebook short notice. So for those, we still do 30 days, and we also see that most other managers and owners have a more strict cancellation policy for the larger homes. But for anything under 6 bedrooms and under, we stay with a flexible cancellation policy, because it just generates more money overall. Now, of course, if you do get a cancellation for booking in a high demand time frame, like the holidays, that was booked a year ago and now it gets cancelled and needs to be rebooked, all the last minute discounts already kicked in. There's less demand now to rebook those days, because most guests that are planning to come and spend the holidays here already do have a home. So you may see lower rates there for those rebookings. But overall, what we've seen, and we have a portfolio of many hundred homes, so overall, with a flexible cancellation policy, you do make more money as an owner. There are individual cases where it may be different, because you lose a lot of income with that one cancellation. But I don't think the solution is to go back to the strict cancellation policy, because you're not going to be able to ask as high of rates than we do right now, and you do going to see guaranteed a drop in occupancy. So it's a little bit hard situation to be in. What do you do? Have less cancellations with stricter cancellation policies and lower rates and occupancy, or offer that flexibility, take the risk and get more bookings and higher rates. So we try to find that balance. We see overall that you make more money with a more flexible cancellation policy, and that's mainly because changing guest expectations since the pandemic, but also the booking channels really rewarding owners and properties with a more flexible cancellation policy by ranking them higher and providing them with more conversion. That's it for today. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out, and we try to find all the info for you. Thank you very much.